Welcome to another episode of Interfaith Dialogue. I'm your host Kamal, here with my guest Khaim Dar. Basically, we're going to be talking about the Islamic religion beliefs based and brought upon you by my guest. First of all, I just want to get a little background of you, like where you're from, your little history.
No problem. First, thank you for having me.
No problem.
I'm born and raised in Toronto, Canada here, and schooled here, and raised a Muslim. Kind of had a hit and miss relationship with it at first, but eventually I realized it was just, I heard the call, decided to go into chaplaincy once it was offered at the University of Toronto. And now I'm in the chaplaincy program, just finishing up the chaplaincy program at the University of Toronto at Emmanuel College.
First of all, I just want to ask you, basically, what does this chaplaincy program entail?
Well, the chaplaincy program was created as a response to lack of certain skills that various community leaders had, and they decided to have design courses and a program to give upcoming leaders in the community a chance to develop community building skills, proper spiritual caregiving, and other chaplaincy skills that the community needed as much as the leaders did.
What does this Islamic faith mean to you most of all?
It helps me make sense of the world and the universe as a whole. Gives me peace of mind, grounds me, and gives me something to aim for, gives me something to comfort me in ways.
Okay, Khaim, what we'd like to know is, what does being a Muslim mean to you?
It means a lot of things to me. It's not just a religious belief. A lot of it has to do with how I actually put those beliefs into action. So it's not just praying and fasting, it's also how I deal with people, how I conduct myself in different interactions, personal interactions, financial, school, things like that, and just how I interact with the world as a whole.
Okay. Do you find, as having to interact different with the world as a whole, do you find that as more challenging going about it in your spiritual beliefs, or do you find it much more easier?
Sometimes it can be a challenge, depending on where I am, depending on the situation, but the more comfortable I've become with it as part of me, as who I am, it's a lot less challenging to be faithful to myself as much as to the faith itself.
When you took this step, was there a lot of influence put into it from your parents? Did they influence?
My parents have always wanted me to be a practicing Muslim. I haven't always been, and like every Muslim, I'm always striving to do better. But in terms of chaplaincy, it came as a surprise to them. They didn't really know where I was going. I had done my undergraduate degree in world religions. I've always been interested in religion. Okay. This I found was a way to actually put some of the things that I had learned over the years into practice, actually giving back to the community, actually training myself and finding ways to actually interact with the community and help build it up a bit.
Okay. What are some of those ways that you find yourself interacting with the community? Like, what do you hope to accomplish from?
Because I've been on campus and I've been doing a lot of work at the University of Toronto, I've been part of a lot of student initiatives. So I did an internship at the Multi-Faith Center at the University of Toronto, and we did a lot of community projects. We tried doing work with students at the Daniel Spectrum. We've done some food drives, we've done blood drives, we made care packages for, I believe it was Scott's shelter on Spadina. A lot of the work that I have done has been with students, and one day I do hope to be a campus chaplain.
What's the difference between Islam and Muslim?
Islam is the religion, Muslim is somebody who follows Islam and practices that religion.
Okay. So, as practicing Muslim, when you see things depicted of the Muslim faith, does it concern you in any type of ways, or?
Yeah, and by Muslims and non-Muslims. And it concerns me when it's represented in a way that can be harmful to people. I feel that everyone has a right to practice their Islam whichever way they feel possible, or whichever way they feel comfortable, but so long as it's not hurting anyone else. And it's another one of the reasons I wanted to go into chaplaincy, was looking at ways to sort of help people get away from harmful aspects of the faith or practices of the faith.
Thank you once again for joining us on another episode of Interfaith Dialogue. I was your host, Kamal. My guest was Khaim Dar, and I want to thank you very much for stopping by today and giving us the interview.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure having you.